Well, I'm back to work on the Yukon. I'm putting some of the tougher bolts in. Wind is blocked a little bit on this Yukon, so I'm trying to put those transmission bolts in, and as you'll see in this video, I'm having a little trouble with some of them. So stay tuned, watch me struggle, and I'll be back in a bit. Well, you might be able to see down in there that I got that bolt on, or in. Now I'm going to work on another part, and then another bolt. But I'll show you what I got. This piece right here goes on and it hooks into the metal bracket that I just put in, I believe, and or a hole in the block, I'm not sure, but I'll find out in a minute. And of course this screws onto the back of the head. Now I notice there's two spots, so good luck in me finding the right one. This is pretty much how I have to put a lot of them bolts in at the back there. Just no working room whatsoever. About a quarter of a thread at a time. Hope the camera didn't move. This is one of the easier ones. Anyway, you kind of get the picture. Got a different wrench here. Just a little bigger is all. And it's a ratchet. That's about all I got right there. Well, I'm trying to put everything back the way it came off, but unfortunately when I recorded it, it was everything was very greasy and hard to see, plus it was dark. Now that I've cleaned things up a little bit, it's easier to see, and I think I'm getting close, but I still haven't got the sensors in yet, the oil pressure sensor I mean, or anything like that. A lot of the wire loom connections I'm going to go ahead and zip tie to the spots that they go on those fittings and stuff that you can't hardly see because they're down behind the block. But I'm using my old bolts to line up my flex plate with the torque converter. Went over on this side over here and looked up through the hole. Could see my torque converter bolt receptacles, and I marked them with a white chalk marker. I come back over here and I could see up in there a little bit, but I couldn't see my marker, but I could see the spot where the bolt is supposed to go, the receptacle for it, so the nut, so to speak. Anyway, I looked up in there and fished around with the bolt and moved the flywheel a little bit with a screwdriver, and there you can see the torque. You might even be able to see my line. Yeah, now I can see it with the camera. So that's how I did it. And they should be lined up. I'm going to go around and get them all in there. These are the old bolts. And then on the last one, I'm going to start the new bolt because it looks like they're going to line up. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, here's the other bolt hole. You can probably see up in there. It's a lot easier to see with the camera. There's my mark, and that should be close. It should be close. So I'll try and get the bolt in. Okay, it looks like I got that one started, but I gotta pull it up a little bit, get it a little more centered, so I'll tighten it down some. Then I'll roll it around for the last one. Okay, there's the last one. It lined right up, and I started the old bolt, so what I'm going to do is start a new bolt. I'm going to put it down to a little bit of a torque, not much, and then roll around to the other ones, each one at a time, a little at a time, and then I'm going to come back and put them down to 46 foot-pounds, all of them. I like the Dorman bolts, unlike the ones I took out, because the Dorman bolts I can actually put a socket on, 15 millimeter, or I can also do an Allen number 8. I believe it's an Allen number 8. So they're all tightened down. That's just a picture of what it looks like. In case you're curious, I used Dorman replacement bolts. They already had the thread locker on them. And I just reached up in here with my torque wrench. I held it onto the bolt head so it had a square shot at it, and I tightened it down to 47 foot-pounds of torque. Now the flywheel did want to turn, but it stopped against the engine block there. Of course, I'm putting pressure on the socket with the engine block and doing the torque, but it did hold, and I could actually feel the bolt turning by holding onto the top up here and my hand on the handle. I could feel the bolt actually turning against the pressure there. So I may have lost a pound or two, maybe, I don't know, but they're in there pretty darn tight right now, all three of them. Nothing to it. Inspection plate is on. Retrieving my light. it was stuck to a spark plug in the vehicle's history there. Evidently somebody had changed the plugs and dropped one up on the frame in a cubby there. Couldn't have been a tool. Once in a while I find a tool like this. But today I found a spark plug. Gonna put the transmission brace back up. The head on those bolts, you can use a 13/16 on the head, but 21 millimeter fits both the head and the nut. These large bolts are 46 foot-pounds of torque, and the transmission stud nuts are 30 foot-pounds. When I lower the transmission down, the nuts on it will be 30 foot-pounds of torque. I'm also going to use some blue thread locker or Loctite on the threads on these bolts before I secure them. I also want to check for the wallowing out of the holes in case there's been a lot of vibration and they were loose, but I don't seem to have that issue. Just a note, the bolt heads face the front of the engine and the nuts are on the back side on both sides. Of course, I left one in on the other side, so we know that. Also, if you've taken this cross member out completely and you got a four-wheel drive, remember that that notch right there goes on the driver's side for the four-wheel drive. I used my jack to help hold the cross brace up, and seems to be working pretty good for that. This jack is really one handy jack. It's very expensive, but it's easy to work one-handed, and I can get it around underneath here and haven't got to fight the floor jack or nothing. Like I said, now it's coming in handy for this. I just really like this thing. So here's the issue. A lot of times what happens is when you got these things raised like I do here with these blocks of wood on each side, then I end up having this torsion bar that's right up here. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, the torsion bar, it's right about right here. It can twist. It goes all the way to the front, and when it twists, it can cause these holes not to line up properly. Things are sometimes a lot easier to take apart than they are to put back together. Up a little bit, maybe. Imagine trying to hold this up with your arm and put it through too. A little bit more. Okay. That went too far, I gotta let it down. Too far, I gotta let it down some. I can feel the hole. Okay, let it down just a little more. Might have to slide it over this way, I don't know yet. Pretty close. Close and almost. Don't want to mess the threads up. Okay. Another tool. Okay, I have this tool. It's a pry bar and it's also a thing to start holes with. So if you don't have one of these, you might want to try and locate one maybe on eBay or somewhere. And I also got a punch. Sometimes a punch will do the same thing. You can get it in and just maybe wiggle it around some. But generally smaller jobs. This seems to be a bigger job, so. Yeah, I got I'm liable to be here quite a while. I'm actually threading it in by hand back here, just tightening it in. The threads are pulling it past the little spot it's trying to get through. And it's not hurting the threads because I'm doing it by hand, so. Anyway, that might get it started in there. Okay. Only got about that much further to go. Yeah, a little tap of the hammer. Won't mind the O2 sensor. Oh, I wish I'd have taken that whole pipe out to begin with. Now you can see just how much the bolt is off right there, the bolt hole. I might try going up a bit with it and see what happens. Can't hurt. Just a tad. Alrighty, Daddy. There's one. I'm gonna put thread locker on these, but I ain't gonna do it just yet. I'm gonna get them all in first. Just set that on there. See how we're doing on this next one. Yeah, it seems to be just as painful. can turn the camera off. I'm a little low on the space with it. I don't know if you can see number 2 in there. Right there, it's pretty darn close. It wants to get through. Just a little bit. All right, there she is. Now I'm going to go over the other side and get those in, then I'm going to come back over here and I'll start putting things together. Or I'll tighten those down over there, one or the other first, and see what happens. On to the passenger side now. Okay, I was able to get that bracket back up in the front. That's the wiring harness. It's got some more clips on the back to hold the some of the other wires, but I haven't got the wires hooked up yet. It's still very greasy under here. Anyway, that's a 10mm little bolt on the front there, and in the back there's a little hole, and that wiring harness just slides into a little nub. There's a nub on the end of the harness. It slides into a hole. Okay, that's done. On the passenger side, and I might have to do a little adjustment here with the jack because I left the bolt in this one, and maybe it'll go back in like it's supposed to. I don't know. Okay, got these 2 bolts in. Okay, I'm going to use some red Loctite or thread lock. Let's see, what am I using here? Oh yeah, Permatex. This is Permatex thread locker. Got a drop or 2 on each of those threads. Then I'm going to tighten down to 46 foot-pounds. Then I'm going to tighten them down to 46 foot-pounds. Okay, a little thread locker. Passenger side. See if this works still. Had this stuff for years. It seems like. Okay. Supposedly, I've got thread locker now. See if I get 46 foot-pounds on this one without it turning on me. So far, it's not turning on me. Let's see if it's turning now. Yep, now it's turning. Okay. What did I say that was on the back side? I don't remember. 13/16. 13/16 box in on the head. Works very well. Long-winded little devil, I'll tell you that. Considering. Oh shit, that would fall off. There's one. how far I can go with this one before it starts turning. I expect the wrench to fall off any minute. Oops. Hitting the camera. There went the wrench. Oh, like I said, I expected it to fall off any minute. Whoops. You heard it, 46 foot-pounds. Done and done. Alrighty, back to the driver's side to tighten them up. On my second tube of thread locker, I didn't seem to have enough in the last one. There we go. Oh wow, the new stuff works much better. Much better. Okay, this camera's going to run out, but anyway, I got thread locker on both of these. I'm going to tighten these down to 46 foot-pounds. Then I'm going to go in and do the 2 transmission nuts, and then maybe I'll put the skid plate back on. Oh, come on. Oh, gonna make me squeeze. I can't do that. There's one. Okay, I'll bring it back when I get to the transmission bolts, maybe. These transmission nuts are on at 30 foot-pounds. I did not put any thread locker on them. See the one back there, and then there's another one. I don't know if you can see it. It's back on this side. Alrighty, I got them all started. Put the plate up, took 2 hands. Alright, 19 foot-pounds, here we go. There's 2, 3, and 4. Okay, that's a wrap. This is Steve AZ 711, aka Can They Drive Garage. Next thing I'm going to do is probably go to the AC compressor and then the starter. Everything is bolted up back here today, and I'm going to go take a break. Hope all your repairs go well, and bye for now.